shoot her in the head? Like, what could she have done or said to you that you think that you want to kill and shoot my baby execution style like that? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
My daughter, she was somebody. She was mine. She was mine. Understand me?
Look, when police find a body near a dumpster, they usually have 100 different questions. But for the family of Dean and Ishia Heller in Fort Lauderdale, the questions weren't just about who did it. They were about the sheer brutality of how it happened. On February 18, 2026, a 30-year-old mother of 3 was found naked and discarded like trash behind an apartment complex on Northwest 2nd Street. She didn't just die, she was executed. And while social media was busy panicking about a serial killer on the loose, the real story was hiding inside a vacant apartment just a few feet away. According to reports by local news into Altavious Powell, let's take a look at the evidence that finally put him in a cage. Before we get into the heavy details of the forensic scene, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's been supporting the channel. Your likes and shares really help us bring these stories to light. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join the community. We're diving into the cases that the mainstream news usually schemes over. So let's get into the facts. Dean Ishia Heller was a 30-year-old woman with a massive support system. Her mom, Tammy Kia, owned a beauty salon just blocks away from where this happened. Her dad, David, described her as having the heart of a tiger. She wasn't someone who would go down without a fight, and that's exactly what the crime scene showed. When detectives finally got inside the vacant apartment where the murder actually took place, it was a bloodbath. The family actually got hold of video from inside that unit, and it's haunting.
Okay, let me set this up. We're in this beauty salon. This is the salon owned by the victim's mom. Okay, and we just spoke with her. This is 30-year-old Denisha. I want to show you something here. The family has just gotten video from inside of where police say Denisha was shot to death. And you see a lot of blood there, right?
Yes. Wherever you see the blue is how he drug her through the apartment on the floor. We have 3 videos actually.
So this was
each area in the apartment.
This was a very bloody scene.
There were blue forensic markers everywhere. Her mother pointed out that you could see exactly where Dean and Ishia had been dragged across the floor. This wasn't a quick, clean crime. Based on the aunt's testimony, it looks like Dean and Ishia was shot in the head execution style, after putting up a massive struggle to save her own life. The suspect, 34-year-old Altavious Powell, wasn't exactly a ghost. In fact, by the time police officially linked him to the murder, he was already sitting in a jail cell. He'd been picked up on unrelated charges: possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and resisting arrest. It turns out, while he was running from the cops on those charges, he was carrying the very DNA that would eventually link him to Dean and Ishia's body. But here's where the story takes a turn into the weird. While the police were trying to keep the public calm, an arrest warrant surfaced with a chilling detail. Apparently, Paul had told the mother of his child that he didn't just kill Dean and Ishia. He claimed he had killed 2 women. Let's take a quick second here. I want to see where everyone is watching from. Drop a comment right now with the exact time you're watching this and let me know how you found the video. Did it pop up on your homepage or did someone share it with you? It helps the algorithm more than you know. Now back to those claims of a second victim. This is where the internet went into a complete meltdown. Within 24 hours of the body being found, TikTok and Instagram were flooded with rumors that a serial killer was stalking the streets of Fort Lauderdale. People were posting photos of random cars, claiming they were scout vehicles for a predator. It got so bad that the Fort Lauderdale Police Department had to hold a press conference specifically to tell people to shut up and stop spreading fake news.
So there's some stuff circulating on social media, so we're here to dispel any rumors or concerns. I'll start off by saying we do not have a serial killer that we're looking at in the city of Fort Lauderdale. As far as we know, Altavious Powell's only committed 1 homicide, is the one we're referencing right now.
The lead detective on the case was blunt. He said they had 0 evidence of a serial killer. He even went as far as to say that Paul's claim of killing 2 people was likely just talk, or at least something they couldn't prove yet. They also debunked a theory that this was a drug deal gone bad. There was no evidence that the vacant apartment was a trap house, or that Dean and Ishia was involved in anything like that. One of the most disturbing parts of this case is how the suspect tried to hide what he'd done. After the execution inside that vacant unit, Altavious Powell didn't just leave. He took the time to drag Dinanicia's naked body outside to the dumpster area and covered her with scraps of cardboard. He treated a human being, a mother of 3, like a piece of debris he was trying to sweep under the rug. But he wasn't as clever as he thought. Forensics found his DNA right there at the crime scene, and that was the nail in the coffin for his defense. Even with the DNA and the body placement, the why is still a massive void in this investigation. Police are currently tearing through cell phone data and months of text messages trying to find a link. As of right now, they can't even confirm how long these two knew each other, or if they really knew each other at all. The family says they've never seen this guy before in their lives. This leaves us with 2 terrifying possibilities. Either this was a targeted hit for a reason we don't know yet, or it was a random act of extreme violence by a man who already had a violent criminal history. While the legal system grinds away at Altavious Powell, who is now facing a first-degree murder charge, the real tragedy is what's left behind. Dinanicia's 3 daughters, ages 5, 7, and 8, are now growing up without a mother because of a senseless act in a vacant apartment. Her father, David, is still making the rounds to every news outlet he can find, not because he wants the attention, but because he's terrified that people will remember his daughter only as the naked woman by the dumpster, instead of the person she actually was. The police are being very careful with the premeditation angle here. Usually for a first-degree charge you need to prove the killer planned it out. The detectives hinted that what they found inside the house, details they aren't releasing to the public yet, proves that this wasn't an accident or a heat-of-the-moment mistake. Something happened in that room that showed intent. Whether it was the way he waited for her or the way the apartment was prepared, the state is confident they can put him away for life. As for the serial killer rumors, the police chief was visibly frustrated during the final briefing. He pointed out that while people were busy sharing fake killer profiles on Instagram, they were actually putting innocent people in danger. Some guy in a white sedan was reportedly harassed because the internet decided he looked suspicious. This case is a textbook example of how true crime is a double-edged sword. On one hand, the public's attention keeps the pressure on the cops. On the other hand, the internet detectives almost derailed the focus from the actual monster, Altavious Powell. Now Paul is sitting in a cell likely for the rest of his life, while the Heller family tries to figure out how to explain all of this to 3 little girls. It's a grim reminder that behind every viral crime story, there's a beauty salon sitting empty or a father who can't stomach the thought of what happened to his firstborn daughter. We're going to keep a close watch on the court dates and the toxicology reports. If that second victim Paul mentioned ever actually surfaces, you'll hear it here first. Let me know in the comments if you think the police are right to dismiss the serial killer claims so quickly, or if you think there's more to Paul's confession than they're letting on. Thanks for sticking with me through this one. I'll see you in the next breakdown.